A new Michael Moore movie out.
No, we haven't. It's a film about Michael Moore.
So
That's the thing.
It's still a Michael Moore movie.
Manufacturing Dissent. I think it's pretty clear where I stand on Michael Moore. So Manufacturing Dissent is a documentary about how Michael Moore basically twists the truth and isn't the great guy that he's cracked up to be, and how his documentaries, play fast and loose with fact, and how he manufactures stuff and which is all stuff I kind of know about. It's not made by rabid right-wingers, because there is a great big right-wing industry making websites about how evil Michael Moore is. He's not any of those things. It's made by a bunch of Canadians who are very liberal and very open-minded, who try and make a documentary about Michael Moore and find out that he's actually very difficult to deal with. And in the course of it, they go back and go over a lot of stories from all the movies that he's made before, and find, as is no surprise to anybody, that Michael Moore tends to play fast and loose with the facts. And the most interesting stories, I was going to play you a clip, but I think we probably haven't got time. But I can.
No, how many more things do you want to fit in before?
No, I can do that. Okay, fine. This is a central clip. Roger and Me, right? Central premise of Roger and Me. He spent the whole time attempting to interview the head of General Motors. He never got to meet him, yeah? Apparently he did.
We went to the Waldorf Astoria in New York. It wasn't a shareholders meeting. It was just for the people who owned the most shares of General Motors, the corporate investors, Wall Street, and they wanted to show off their new cars and say how great they were and everything. Michael and I got in and got access to Roger Smith. He sat there and answered questions for about 10 or 15 minutes. And it was some great footage, because it was Smith answering questions one-on-one from Michael. Michael called me in the middle of the night and just said, basically, can you just say that this doesn't exist? And I said, it exists. There's a transcript of it. I'm not going to fall on my sword for you. I said to him, Michael, you talked to him twice already. How can you do a movie on something you've done already? He said, well, I can make it look like anything I want. It'll just go on a cutting room floor.
And the other key charges against Moore are, there's a soldier who's featured in Fahrenheit 9/11 who's really objected to footage of him being used because he was actually very, very pro the war. There's a very interesting discussion about that scene in Bowling for Columbine in which he goes into the bank and comes out with a gun, in which it's revealed that the whole thing was set up. The vault isn't there. The guns are, a long way away. You can't go into the bank and walk out with a gun. That's all kind of set up. There is also some, I think, very valid criticism of the last moment of Bowling for Columbine, in which he goes and does that ludicrous thing about beating up Charlton Heston, not beating him up, but verbally attacking Charlton Heston in his house, which is, as one commentator says, it's just mean. It's just mean. Also, incidentally, I have a kind of question about that sequence, which is, answer me this. If there's only one camera there, who's shooting the shot of Michael Moore showing Charlton Heston the picture? That's for future reference. It's not a brilliant piece of work.
Noddy cutaway, is it?
Yeah, but it's not meant to be. I mean, it looks like that to me, and maybe there's an explanation, but every time I see it, I think, I'm sorry, who's shooting the shot of Michael Moore holding the thing up? As I said, it's not a masterpiece, but if, like me, you are liberal, but on the other hand don't trust Michael Moore any more than you trust George Bush, it's playing to the choir, and there is a lot of stuff in it that I really liked seeing, and it did seem to suggest that, as I'd always thought, much of what he says is fabricated baloney, and he's more interested in self-publicity than he can get into the truth.
So you're right about some things, that's what you're saying.